Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have Apex Best going up against some of European's finest players, Red Reserve versus MindFreak. And I'm joined by someone I just don't get a lot of time on air with casting. Of course, the wonderful Chance, myself, Momo will be bringing you all the action. However, I do want to bring up something which I'm not sure if Chance wanted me to. You actually got to play against Zero.
I hate Zero. I hate Zero with an absolute passion. He is one of the worst players in Europe, and it's not even close.
Can you explain or elaborate on this story?
Imagine this. Imagine you, 10 a.m., first thing in the morning, haven't even had breakfast yet. You're trying to play a nice game of ranked. You're a mid-level gold player, around the 1800s. Zero gets put on the other team, and we have to play respawn.
Okay.
My teammates rage quit within the first 90 seconds. Zero. He's literally playing around with me in the map. And I asked him, because he's embarrassing me during the match, I was like, were you just screwing with me, or was that just like normal? He just starts laughing, like 100% I was messing with you. He's like shooting me with a bullet, running away, and then he comes back with a flamethrower just to burn me alive. Like, I hate Zero. He's a great player, though, but I hate Zero.
Listening to you rage on ranked is always a pleasure. Red Reserve versus MindFreak. We're going to be heading to Gibraltar hardpoint first of all. And you know what? The most interesting thing, I think, is MindFreak, do they bring the heat that they finished with Division A at week 2 into week 3? Or do we see that sloppy hardpoint gameplay? We're going to see that fast-paced action. Buzzo, what you expected?
It's got to be good. It's got to be good. This is a run back. They have played these maps before. Yes, Red Reserve came out on top, but again, MindFreak has fixed their hardpoint game. Of course, though, just because you fix it doesn't mean you can beat the best teams in the world, and Red Reserve is absolutely that. It's not going to be an easy road. I'm looking at Rated. He wants to make a spot on one of the best ARs in the game. He's going up against Buzzo. He should be having a good time.
Well, expecting his weapon to start things off, and Stun's going out. He's going to be rocking the Hunker Airborne class alongside that. Okay. Things start well for Red Reserves. They take full control of the pit center. And MindFreak, they're put on the back foot straight away. And the next 45 seconds, crucial. Let's stay on board with Rated just for a couple of seconds, seeing when this push from Shox does come in. But straight away, Rated just locking things down. And the one thing I will say, holding his nerve there, he's not getting anxious.
I appreciate the start as well. How often do people run armored right off the rip? It was stuns that just completely shut them down in the third room because so many people throw out nades, but everyone has Hunker and it's easy to get through. So just the opening strat right there from Red Reserve. Again, we've been touting them as one of the most well-prepared teams here. They're the team on St. Marie when the other team has streaks. They pull out Mountain. They're the team that makes the adjustments in-game. They are looking fantastic. Not only do they win the first hill, they are winning the rotation over towards second. It is Denz by himself. The rest of MindFreak is gone, and yes, Denz gets one, but he has to get two. And Rated, of course, AR guy in the back. Starts off 4-1, looking great so far. Yeah,
really interesting spawn there. Both teams do drop players, but because MindFreak actually spawn up sooner, they spawn out, Red Reserve spawn in. The kills go either way, and we are going to see MindFreak retake control here of the courtyard. Long shots from Shox here, taking down Zero. And we are going to see some points on the board for the Australian side. However, Denz is going to have his hands full here. 3 plays pushing forward. Tacticals, lethals coming in, will be taken down, but Fighter trying to back him up.
Has one just underneath him. It looks like Buzzo is actually going to be able to clean that up from mid-map, and that actually gives Fighter a bit of clearance. He knows the players are going to be coming in from the back, and you can see he's trying to react to the pressure, but the player over to the side is a bit of a distraction. Shox, though, got the spawn. He's going to be able to fight for potentially the scrap time, and you see he's playing it slow. That means the rest of Red Reserve is going to leave the hill, and he wins the gunfight as well. That is 12 seconds Red Reserve will not get, but he doesn't want it either. He's trying to go for the spawns because you see Joe, he's been in the back of the map for the longest time, trying to lock down spawns for his team. That's not going to be the case. Has important gunfights to win, does not get it. MindFreak, they're down by 20, but this easily could be a full 60 for him.
Most definitely could. We're going to see Red Reserve on the attack here. Shox in deep water as he's taking damage. He's just trying to stay alive. Not going to happen with the grenade coming in. And now Fighter needs to lock down the main street. He's actually going to get aggressive, push that out, and you can see the spawns for Red Reserve. They are way out. Rated and Zero making important kills here. And this is a hill we've seen time and time again where smokes come into play, where contestation is key. Red Reserve, though, they're not interested in contesting. They want the points, and they're going to get it. They're going to spawn 3 players from MindFreak out. Denz last alive.
This is a win so far from Red Reserve, unless Denz goes like massive somehow with 3 players. But that's not going to be the case. So they get the break. They stop MindFreak from getting a decent bit of time, and they're actually going to be able to extend their lead despite not having the spawn. So very good first set of rotation so far for Red Reserve, so long as they close out this turret hill, which MindFreak, well, they don't have the full set anymore. Fighter is going to fall inside a cave, so Zero with an AR is is going to have a decent opening here as the next hill spawns up.
So interesting to see as well, when you swap an FG for a bar or an STG, things do change, the meta changes, and you can see Zero trying to get the better of Buzzo. Can't even land a bullet here, as the grenade is going to lure Shox back a little bit. Hunker playing its part, and you can see Red Reserve almost biding their time. And Raiders, he's going to be caught, and he's going to spawn way back here. 35 seconds still left on the hill, and we're getting a very, very close game as MindFreak, they can potentially take the lead and most likely will do.
And take notes if you're watching from home, the position Denz was in right there, he's watching mid-map all the way from top stone on the far side, completely on the other side of the map from where the hill is, but you want a guy in that spot. You completely cut off mid-map. It's impossible to get through. Meanwhile, though, we talk about Denz, Shaq's inside the hill, racking up a lot of time, has 50 seconds to his name. More importantly, has those streaks, which he's going to use right away.
You know what? He's invested in these. He's pushing out players from Red Reserve. No one being able to, I was going to say, get away from that, but actually it lands on the wrong side of the wall. He does survive, of course, with Hunker. We're going to see more streaks coming in. They're investing a lot here. And you know what? Red Reserve, they got a lot of time last time from this pit center. MindFreak are trying to nullify any chance of that happening again. They've got a 15-point lead. They've got the spawns technically for the next one. However, 45 seconds left on this. A lot of points to be gathered.
Still, though, that is definitely a huge investment. It's worth pointing out he does get the artillery as well, if not already said by Momo. But yeah, again, Red Reserve, it seems like even when there's a little bit of trouble, they do a decent job of kind of fighting it off. We talked about it on that top side hill, and they do it once again, even dealing with the score streak. Still, though, they are going to find themselves in a very close game going into the hill that MindFreak has control of. Still, though, MindFreak, they have to win that next wave of gunfights.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself. This next wave is so important, and Buzzo is actually going to be finding himself in a trade, so he does take down Zero. Josh answers back, and this will be good news for MindFreak. They can just fend them off. Josh is going to go down as well, and the spawns for Red Reserve will mean MindFreak can not only take this hard point, they can start to run away with it. It's going to be Buzzo holding this, but what I do like to see is how pushed out MindFreak are. Fighters holding the middle. Denz just locking down the hard point himself. Working towards those streaks. Just want to point out, Denz is 18 and 10. 5-kill streak now, as we see that off screen. But 19-11, I'm not sure if he did unlock the streaks. Talking to streaks, Shox still has that artillery.
This is a lot of time just kind of given away by MindFreak, just not having a body in the hill this entire time. I think they've gotten maybe 5 seconds, if that. Red Reserve, I wouldn't even say doing a great job of keeping MindFreak out. MindFreak just decided not to put as much hill pressure. Still, though, they do a good enough job to get the kills that they will be able to get the scrap time. Red Reserve obviously not going to be pushing for that. So, a bit of a role reversal from what we saw the first time around. Of course, though, you got the artillery. If things are going south, you just drop it on top of this hill, and Red Reserve is going to struggle to get time. So, very good potential for MindFreak here to maintain their lead.
Yeah, this artillery could be used to completely push out Red Reserve. Joe itching back and forth here. Fighter does get the better of him over the wall, and now we're going to see that artillery come in. Let's have a look at the overview as we do see all of Red Reserve push back. They cannot get time. However, neither can Shox. This is just going to enable MindFreak to get the position that they need and be able to pounce. Zero, though, he's looking to be aggressive. Raider joins the club, and we're going to see Red Reserve. They are down by 30 seconds, but there's 35 still left on this hill, and we're looking to... Oh my goodness, Shox should not have got that kill, but he pulls off the 3. Denz gets denied, but Shox is still alive here, Chance.
How in God's name does he even get that 3rd kill, let alone the 2nd? Thankfully for Red Reserve, they are going to shut him down before they get even more streaks, because we see 3 total streaks invested. It's only a 20-point game. However, MindFreak, they had to really set it for the turret hill last time around. They got basically the full 60. They're trying to do the same thing once again. This time, though, not only do they have mid-map, not only do they have Buzzo locking down the far back spawns, but they have cave control as well. This is a tough spot for Red Reserve to be in.
Yeah, and MindFreak were superb going onto this hill last time, the turret, and we're going to see again if they can hold it this time. Josh and Zero are going to combine for the double here. Josh locking down that top window. Shox answering back, and we're starting to see a very, very close game, ladies and gentlemen. 45 seconds left here on the turret, and Fighter doing what exactly he did this last time. He earned himself streaks doing this last time. He's quite a way off. 125 to be... Oh, no, way off, sorry. 500. Completely ignore what I'm saying, but he's still racking up the time, and he's going to find himself 25 points in the lead.
Red Reserve, though, they are able to break through. So, again, they should even be able to take the lead here. They find themselves in tough spots, but they're a bit scrappy, and they find ways to just keep it around. But still, though, if you had said just, 3 weeks ago that MindFreak was going to be at least having the lead against Red Reserve this deep in a game, you'd be mind-blown. Again, full credit to MindFreak for being able to turn their hardpoint game around, but they have to close the games out as well. So, very closely contested so far. MindFreak, though, great slaying. Dens has been nasty so far.
That's really big for Josh there. Not only 2 kills, he gets the hardpoint bonus. He gets himself working towards those score streaks here. And we're going back to the pit center. Now, we know Red Reserve have dominated this area for the majority of it, but MindFreak and Buzzo giving Rated a taste of what he really can give. Dens finds another double kill, sits at 25 and 18. He is propelling his team into the lead here. It's a small lead at that. However, MindFreak, they have full control. They're working towards the streaks. You've got Dens and Fighter on 3 and 2. This is great if you're an Australian fan.
Absolutely. And again, you see they're just putting that heavy emphasis, even with 30 seconds left on the mid-hill, over towards the back, but they're getting the time in the middle as well. Fida inside this hill has been able to go on a 4 streak. He's trying to get the streaks as well, but again, this is what, the 3rd time I think we've seen from MindFreak, just to kill away from streaks. Not quite able to get them, but still, they do have the lead. And again, on this 2nd hill, they have the spawns as well.
Oh, difficult there for Buzzo. Will be traded by Fighter. And again, there's still these 5-10 seconds, and they're all going in favor of MindFreak. We're going to see them spawn at the back. This needs to be a huge, huge play from Red Reserve. We see them getting completely outslayed here. Joe at a -13, Josh -5, 0 just about neutral here. MindFreak are turning up. Oh my goodness, it's going back to back, and we're going to see MindFreak retain the spawns. And these next couple of kills, in fact, this next wave could decide the map.
Absolutely, and the double kills have just been nuts for MindFreak. With the pressure's coming in from the left side, Dens has to get the double kill. He does not. Joe able to pick him up, and at the very least, Red Reserve is keeping them out. Still, though, MindFreak, they just need 20 seconds. They could get it here. They could get it on the next. This is a very do-or-die situation from Red Reserve. They got to play it perfectly.
And there's the call-out. Rated does find him. If he can find these next kills, if they can push it to the next hard point, that could be crucial. And you know what? I'm trying to work it out here. This is very quick. Yeah, you can see it. All the red arrows, they are darting towards it with 10 seconds left. MindFreak, they're looking to end it right here, right now. Map number 1, they needed to make a big impact, and it looks like they're going to be able to do it. MindFreak with a 250 to 170, I think, around that point. MindFreak, they have started Division A Week 3 like they finished Week 2. This is not a team to be messed around with. Red Reserve put in their place, find themselves 1-0 down. How do they regain?
It's not going to be easy. The situation, again, the first time we saw this series, the search and destroy went all the way to round 11. So we already know that in that game mode, it's going to be close for the 2 teams. But again, the hard point's more than likely going to decide it. We've seen one series, like the entirety of the Pro League, where the team that wins map 1 wins the series. MindFreak looking great. Even if we go to map 4, it's a run back at St. Marie. That's where MindFreak has just probably been the best since their turnaround. So obviously, very long way to go. Red Reserve is very, very solid, but I don't know. You got to love what we're seeing from the APAC region right now. Absolutely
do. It's been a long time coming for MindFreak. They've gone through a lot of tough times, and it's nice to see success. However, Red Reserve, they'll have been coming into today with high hopes of not only a win, but a significant win. The map count obviously will come into consideration. Red Reserve are in a position now where they're trying to secure a playoff spot. MindFreak are also fighting for that spot, and they're not going to give up without a fight. This is an interesting series, to say the least. And talking about that St. Marie, we saw MindFreak, do damage against Optic. We saw them nearly close out against TK on that map. I think against Echo Fox, they absolutely stormed through it. MindFreak are in a really good position.
I mean, you see the talent of the players, right? Like, how many separate kills do we see either Dens or Fighter get where they get the first, and instead of getting traded out, they just pull off the 2-piece?
Yeah.
Like, I know it's an incredibly minor thing. Oh, you got 2 kills, whoop-de-doo. But to pull that off as many times, especially Dens as he did, it's pretty insane. Like, how many different times, if they just got that 1 extra kill to get score streaks, that game could have been blown out of the water in their favor. Like, MindFreak, everything that could go right, really outside of that very first hill, kind of did go right. They played incredibly well. The talent is there. Shox has been disgusting. Yeah, he's got to be one of the best, like, SMG hybrid, whatever you want to call him, like, players in the game. But MindFreak, they just need to have, like, a solid 2 weeks or a solid open event under their footing before they're really established. But we've known the talent's there. Like, we've even been chatting about this team. Like, we want to see them in North America more just so they can get that better practice, because the makings are there. The talent is there. The veteranship is there. The teamwork is there. It's just they've been inconsistent.
I think what excites me the most about MindFreak is time and time again they fly across the world. They come to an American event and they get a top 16 or a top 12, and they go away disappointed. But I can really see them doing damage in Atlanta. They're having such a strong showing here. They keep this up against these type of teams, they're going to go into an open event and they're going to start destroying teams. This is such strong competition, and this is kind of what I almost expected to happen with MindFreak, but not to this extent. I expected them to improve, but they have gone beyond my expectations.
I feel like we're being too nice right now. This is weird for me to compliment a team so much, to try and bring myself back down to earth.
Say something.
Their search and destroy hasn't been great. They had a lot of problems in the first 2 weeks of the Pro League where they just couldn't close out games. Even the potential was there. Red Reserve, not quite the same. They were always one of the most well-prepared teams. Their search and destroy, while not like a world beater, they're not Rise. They look pretty damn good. Like, they were a team that took down TK on Forest. They were one of the first ones to do it. I think they did. If not, they came close. But Red Reserve, I think, absolutely picked them to win this series. The makings are there. I think MindFreak just winning that first hard point is almost a necessity for them. But it's going to be a dogfight of the series. Like, if MindFreak comes out in 3-0s, that would be mind-blowing to me. Like, yes, they're a great team, but so is Red Reserve. Red Reserve right now fighting to be that best team in Europe, and they have a pretty good case at that.
Yeah, 100%. And Red Reserve, for the results that they've got, obviously open events as well, they've taken down some of the best. The one thing that really does kind of jump out at me is, you know, the not the mindset, just looking at Red Reserve sit there, completely different than before that map won. I think they're a little bit shocked. I was wrong in saying 170. They got 175, but a 75-point lead, 75-point win over Red Reserve. A pretty commanding win. It wasn't as close as I initially thought it would end. MindFreak really put their foot down and asserted their dominance. However, hard point in the past, we're going to the London docks for search and destroy here. Any play you're particularly looking out for, anything that you want to see from either squad or either player? What are we thinking, Chance?
I guess in terms of specific player, probably Dense. Just because of that map number one he had, you're going to want him to carry that through. But I think MindFreak across the board, they were all very solid at search and destroy. I don't think any one player really set themselves above and beyond, at least not in its entirety. I think Shocks had like a ridiculous KD when they were winning, but not when they were losing. So across the board, they're all solid. Again, it's about just closing out the games. These two teams went to around 11 on London docks, and the most important thing for me is something that, you know, kind of saw from Air is if you're watching the gameplay of these teams, if you know you're going to be running back the same map, who's going to be more researched? Who do you think between these two teams is going to take the time for, like, Red Reserve? Yes, they're well prepared, but against MindFreak, like, do you think maybe they overlooked them, or did they say, hey, this map was close, if we play them again, here's exactly what they do, here's how we're going to beat them?
I genuinely think Red Reserve are a very well prepared team on everyone, and I think going into this, you know, second set of games, you just couldn't underestimate MindFreak. You couldn't do that, not in the way that they finished. Rated is a very, very big fan of, you know, going back, watching film, researching, learning, and I think that's what's driven him individually, but also his teams that he's been on to great success. And, you know, you've got to give credit to that. MindFreak, on the other hand, though, you know, I'm not obviously as close as to the players, but I like to think that, you know, they've had 2 weeks off. They're always on social media talking about how they're watching the games. Have they done the research? I have no doubt in my mind that they have. You know, in what they're doing and what they finished on in their Week 2 Division A, they went away on such a high, even though the position that they were in wasn't fantastic. But they'll have gone away and said, look, this is our time to really assert, you know, put our foot down and make a mark on the CWL. Put APAC, you know, in the talks of the top teams, and they are doing so. So I actually think, to kind of go back to the original point, both of these teams, very well prepared, very well researched, and to just kind of talk facts, only one team can win at the end of the day. You know, whether you've done all the research in the world, it's who turns up on the day. And right now, MindFreak, they're looking awesome.
Absolutely. Looking very fantastic to carry through. Not going to be easy in the slightest. And something that to keep in the back of your minds, obviously we haven't been playing with the FG. It's been SDG or bar, depending on the players. And
yeah,
I'm trying to think, like, obviously Buzzo's the main AR for MindFreak, rated for Red Reserve. If it really would impact one of the players. Now, generally speaking, if they're using an equivalent gun, normally it's going to be the same, but maybe that's something that has an impact on the way they want to play the map. Just something, again, to keep in the back of your mind as the game kind of continues.
Well, we'll be going to Docks for the search and destroy. MindFreak.
Are we?
Versus Red Reserve. Well,
maybe.
We will be soon. We will be very, very soon. Just getting it all set up and all ready to go. You know, you've got to have the right classes. You've got to get this set up. You know this chance. I'm a very big fan of Frank play.
Might have been Zero with the sniper. Maybe he like had the car on for old time's sake and was like, oh yeah, M19 is the way to go now. Because we don't like getting hit markers out here, so you got to make the switch. And we know Zero's been incredibly impressive with his sniper on Texas. Outside of that, I don't know if I'm entirely sold. Obviously, he's going to be solid, but the impact is always going to be a question. I can't even remember how often he snipes on Docks. I know I've seen it, but I don't know if it's 20% of the rounds or just on offense or whatever the situation might be. But again, just another thing to keep in the back of your mind.
And I think as well, you've got to think, you know, am I using this sniper for my team, or are we countering something of the opponent's team? And I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't think about and maybe overlook in a game like Call of Duty. Is you've got to do your individual research on teams, their players, their play style. You know, do they play fast? Do they play slow? Are they aggressive? Do they just sit back on certain rounds? Do they just switch things up? There's so much that goes into it. But I'm really excited to see this Search and Destroy when we finally get into it, which it looks like we are, Chance.
I actually retake my point about the FG. It's actually more interesting than I remember because MindFreak, I think there was a decent number of rounds where on this map they would run 4 FGs. And I don't know if that's going to be the case for STG versus Bar. I've seen at least 3. So yeah, maybe they're going with a very similar strategy. We'll see how that plays out for them. It looked like Red Reserve had a bit of the standard as well. So maybe not as big of a change as I would have thought. But again, just worth mentioning.
Okay, well, Buzzo trying to put some shots through. Will do. Not going to connect here. And again, oh, okay, first blood straight away. That's going to be for fighter number 4. He was at B. He's just taken down someone at the middle statue, which does open a bit of a lane for Shox now. However, the bomb is over at the B site. Buzzo just watching through the middle. Let's stay on board with Dens or Fider, because this is where the action is going to go down. Grenades going out. Connection made.
Shock's actually able to shoot that player in the back, so he just made the right play. We can talk about that later because the gunfight's going down. Fider's able to trade that out very quickly. Zero finds himself in a 1 versus 3, making it a 1v2. But still a pretty tough spot for him. He's got 2 players to defend off. And yes, that bomb is down, but it's down right on top of that B bomb site. Gotta imagine Shock should be able to get this plant. So Zero has his work cut out for him. MindFreak looking over top of each other.
Yeah, I don't think Zero was wanting that bomb to go down. Now a 2v1 with a defuse makes it even more hard. Zero is going to have to be pushed out of his position. And now he's got to look for that defuse. Not able to do that without picking up the kills. It's actually planted for the players as well. With 25 seconds, you've got to favor MindFreak to take this one. Just looking around, doesn't have Mountain or Inconspicuous on, so his footsteps will be heard. Read that like a book, but with 12 seconds left, it really doesn't matter.
Unless Buzzo just overcommits, which maybe he shouldn't have pushed up the statue, but either way, that's an incredibly difficult gunfight for Zero to win. So there was nothing really going for him there. He was going for the ace, but didn't even have Mountain on. Like, his footsteps might get heard. The bomb's planted for a good spot for MindFreak. So very good round, and I think it was, what, Shox that came through 10 on the flank. Something that happened Era against TK quite a few times is Theory was able to go through that tin warehouse, and he's sneaking through on defense. But this time, Shox plays it aggressively to make sure that's not going to be a factor, and he actually goes for the flank. So I like the play we've seen from Shox specifically, but MindFreak, very solid round to go up 1-0. Fido, by the way, playing very aggressive with that PPSH, already over in the beer. Yeah,
that airborne getting him into position so quickly. If he hits the flank here, he's going to face Joe instantly, but it doesn't look like he's gonna. Aggressive playstyle here by Red Reserve, pushing onto the B site, and this should be Joe's kill every single day of the week. And we're gonna see a 4v2 now. The bomb should be going down. That should be from Rated. Grenades coming in, not gonna connect just yet. But Dens has taken down Josh. They've made it a 2v3. The retake will be on, but how many times do we see Red Reserve pull this off?
And the situation is easy for them as well. They don't have to move at all. You see Rated. Have to imagine he was just pre-aiming where Denz is coming from. They know Shox is mid-map. Zero doesn't need to move. Joe doesn't need to overcommit to the challenge, or he can just go for the flank. One of the easiest kills Joe's ever going to get. But that round was just one for the first blood. Like, Fida, if it's in a 4v4, he can wait for a kill to come in before he tries to flank in case Joe gives it up. But once, like, that kill doesn't come in for your team, Joe can sit there all day, and Fida's just in a tough spot.
Okay, so one round apiece here. The bomb site, obviously, most used so far. B, will we see anything change up, go down to the docks? We've seen some crazy strategies so far. We've already seen this map today. We're going to see... Oh, that's what Buzzo was trying to do last time for you guys. Does connect through the middle. And he's actually lured Joe right into him. But Joe does have PPSH. Buzzer with the Expeditionary on as well. Interesting to see.
Get those stuns over the top of the building, and you saw it even hit him right when he came out of fire. But MindFreak, again, they're just playing for picks right at the moment. They have the exact same setup they have played on offense time and time again, where Shox, yes, he's watching the flank, but there isn't as much help over by B. But to the credit, you see Rated by himself. Buzzo just got caught off guard by how aggressive Joe was. Now the second kill comes in, and that's a round where Red Reserve basically gives up the B bomb site for free, but the retake is going to be there. They got all the kills because, again, the setup for MindFreak was very spread out. Potentially, though, MindFreak could get some big kills. Denz has to get the second. He's going to get traded out. Now Fida gets one, but he's got to get two more, and he's weak. He's going to get pinched in. Yeah,
that was the perfect trade onto Denz. Now a 2v1. All you need to do is put another trade on the board. Zero looking to push him down. Not going to be needed as Josh will put him to bed. And we're going to see a 3-kill streak from Josh and a defuse working towards that all-important fighter pilot, glide bomb, and more.
And again, it was the first round. Shox pushes through tin. This time it was Rated, I think it was, that was just hanging around that tin area, waiting the entire time because MindFreak spreads themselves thin. And Joe, of course, pushed up into fire to get the trade on Buzzo, who's used to Rated being on the statue, not having a player that aggressive. So I like the counter strat from Red Reserve. Again, that just might be a testament to the research they put in. Last time around, though, they go B. This time, they're going to A. There is 0 people there for MindFreak right now. This is a free bomb plant.
Yeah, almost feels like MindFreak have overcommitted to this on B. They've completely given up A. That's not going to be a kill unless the grenade does connect. I'd expect him to get out the way, but he doesn't. Red Reserve. Clinical. Little bit... I hate using the word lucky, but sometimes, you know, you just go to the right bomb site as they go to the other one. It happens. Well, perfectly for them.
MindFreak goes for the hard read, right? Like, yeah. It's not lucky. Like, MindFreak made a commitment, and they did it wrong. Like, they just smoked off A, went to A. It's nothing crazy, but again, that might be a testament to Red Reserve's preparation, because if MindFreak sends no one there, maybe Red Reserve, every single time they've played this map, have gone to B. And so MindFreak, again, what was it, Rated said on Hot Mic, we're 5 steps ahead. Yeah, the meta game might actually be there for these teams, but either way, that's definitely 2 rounds in the books. Red Reserve, this strategy was just the perfect play against what MindFreak brought to the table.
Well, 3-1 is the current score line, and we've got full streaks now in the hands of Josh. Interesting to see when and if he uses these. Most definitely will at some point, but this is, for me, a big swing round. I think this is a round where MindFreak need to win, but again, chance. They've got this exact same setup. 2 at B, 1 holding the flank, usually 1 in B. They have pushed Buzzo around to be with them, so they've kind of got a 3-1 stack now rather than a 2-1-1. So they're committing to the bomb site, but they're giving so much map control away. Here we are, glide bomb going in. Bomb planter does have mounted on, and that connects with a player. That's unfortunate for Fida. Oh, and even more streaks raining down. They've pushed them right out of there. And you know what? With this, a defuse may come in very quickly. Josh denies Buzzo. Shox, he's in a position which he may be able to pick up a kill, but I doubt he can actually stop the bomb from being defused. That is going to be a clean round. Streaks invested, and they're going to be rewarded.
I'm going to be honest, I was a bit surprised that the glide bomb didn't kill the guy that planted the bomb because he was weak from the nade, but manages to pick up one despite the mount and the mortars get a second. So, yes, you invest a lot of streaks, but you go up 4-1. Yeah. Like, if you don't want to use the streaks and then it's a 3-2 game, it's just the difference between 3-2 and 4-1 is absolutely massive. So, that's what I like to see. A lot of teams get hesitant with their streaks. Josh wastes 0 time having himself a very nice game at 8-2. Of course, so that bomb over towards A this time. MindFreak is here now. Going to get the first blood, going to get traded out. You see Josh does not want to use that fighter pilot now.
Bomb is down for a second. Zero's near it, so he may be able to pick this up, retrieve it. Just looking for Fighter. He knows he's there. I think he's just spotted him, and here we go. Stun's going over the top. Now Josh can get aggressive as he does connect, does find one. Will take him down, and he is out of there. He's just getting his teammates in better positions, rated, locking things down from the top. Oh, okay. I thought he was behind the statue there, but Josh getting up close and personal. That's going to be another round for Red Reserve.
And Josh is on a 10 streak, so I have a feeling we're going to be watching Josh pretty much nonstop the rest of this game until finally he gets shut down, if that even happens, because the game might be over very, very shortly, because, again, the fighter pilot's in the back pocket. Yes, that's a round where MindFreak gets the first blood and does not win, but, of course, that player gets traded out instantly. The round, in my mind, gets one when Josh just wins that gunfight against Dens inside. Like, he's getting double-teamed and somehow not only gets the kill, but he gets away. That's insane stuff, but, again, Josh, pretty sure right now he is on that 10 streak. He's just going to try and let it ride.
I think he did start 0-2. You're absolutely right. I will be the first to admit I had no idea that he was on a 10 streak. Can he make it 11? Not going to happen. We do see one player go down from either side, but a flank coming in from Rated is going to be taken down by Shocks, and this is a must-win round for obvious reasons here for MindFreak. They need to win 5 back-to-back. He's going to make one player weak as Zero's taken down. Nice round for MindFreak. Is it too little too late, though? Are we seeing this series go to 1 apiece?
A nice adjustment as well, just for them to go to the A-bomb site. They put more pressure, more men, more bodies over by Tin, and they get the kills as well. Wouldn't be surprised next time MindFreak is on offense if they go back to B. Just because, again, Red Reserve, they do put a lot of pressure on A over on defense. They kind of give up the B plant, and there's only the fighter pilot that's left. So maybe they're just going to be fearful of that. But either way, Red Reserve at the same time, they get the bomb planted at B. They got a fighter pilot. It should just be a free win.
Josh getting super aggressive here. He spotted one. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if we saw a fighter pilot. However, with Rated going down, they may hold off on that one for a second. Smoke has been dropped. It looks like that bomb still might be going down here, and Josh is a very, very big influence on how this round goes. They do have a good setup. They've got all the positions they need. If we just stay on board with Josh for a second, be ready of course, anyone pushing through. Shout out to Paradox, obviously driving the cameras for us backstage here. 3v4, and oh, he's investing it. He's going for it. Oh, and Joe goes down at the wrong time here. And as we see, this is going to push players out of position. The problem is right now is a 2v4. Josh is in no man's land. He's going to try and duck away. Zero, though. Big, big kill here. Josh finds a second, and just like that, we got to see Josh jump out. Could that be the end? With 12 seconds, it will be. Josh, a questionable use of the streaks, and Zero... Oh, did Shocks get it?
He did not get it. No.
I don't think he did. I thought for a second I've just hyped everything up and he got it. But no, I'm going to go back. I'm going to get hyped because Red Reserve... My goodness. Whew. I need to take a deep breath after that one.
Talked about the game planning, man. I think that's all it was. Red Reserve, they had at least 2 rounds, and then, of course, the streaks helped them out as well, where they just had the perfect counter strat. Of course, Josh going on a 10 streak does not hurt. To earn those streaks, it does not hurt. And to snap like he snapped in that final round does not hurt. I agree that streak usage was very, very bad, but if you get the 2-piece like that, and again, even the pre-fire, just to snap around the corner like that was on point, you don't need streaks when you have gunfights like that. Josh, absolute legend just for that map. Well, that's too far. Absolute legend for that one map.
Josh is a legend. He's been around. Well, I'm willing to throw that one his way. But the series tied up 1 apiece. MindFreak versus Red Reserve. We've seen the hard point. We've seen the search and destroy. Up next is going to be the CTF. APAC's best versus the Europeans' finest. Guys, do not go anywhere. Red Reserve tie the series up with a search and destroy victory. However, a hardpoint masterclass from MindFreak. We sit, the score series is 1 apiece. We're going into the CTF. This time, though, we'll be playing a different map from the previous matchup in weeks 1 and 2. Red Reserve looking to take the lead back here with back-to-back maps. MindFreak looking to get another respawn under their belt.
It's very interesting, as well as MindFreak that banned out London Dock CTF, which Red Reserve is a very good London Dock CTF team, but MindFreak beat them last time they played this series, so kind of interested is why they don't want to run the same map that they already won back, but at the same time, maybe they were just looking at the record. I think Red Reserve, at least in New Orleans, was like 4-0, but then the spawns changed. Not the spawns don't change, but the flag tags changed. Yeah. Since then, Red Reserve has been 1-2. So yes, it was a close game. Maybe MindFreak is just more confident in their Forest CTF game, which is fair. I think that was one of the better maps, but just an interesting thing to keep in the back of your mind of like, why not play the same map? You already won, but either way, MindFreak, if they play like they did in map 1, they should be good to go.
Well, we started on Gibraltar. We headed to the docks, now to the Forest. And you know what? We're going to go to a map 4 for sure, and that is Saint Marie du Mont and Red Reserve. With a search and destroy win, they'll be looking to end this in 4, as MindFreak will be as well. What do you feel in the CTF? You're thinking slow gameplay from both? We've got obviously Rated and Buzzo, 2 slower assault rifle players, or are we going to see some high impact?
I'm thinking high impact. I'm thinking MindFreak for some reason. Just I feel like it's going to be chaotic, and they're actually sending 2 players over through Dome. Joe's going to be able to get 1, but Joe's probably my X factor. In the respawn, Joe has had plenty of times where he is absolutely lackluster, does not do great, at least in the kills column, but the team is fine. But if he starts putting up numbers, the things are just going to go their way. Like Red Reserve would just be disgusting. So look out for him. If he has a good performance, I think Red Reserve will be just fine, and he had pretty much the perfect opening break.
Yeah, he goes for the flag pull, of course. Will be shut down, as you did see. But I do like this, and the one thing I will say as well, with the FG being, not used right now, we've got STGs primarily. We are going to see kind of those closer gun. Oh, okay, that's disgusting. Stop it, Rated.
He did. Shox immediately got the 2-piece, and that's kind of reflective of what we saw from the Gibraltar, right? Like one of the subs from MindFreak picks up 1, and then they just managed to not get traded out to get the second. So aggression's coming in. It's Zero's got to hold off everybody by himself, and he's able to get 1. The stun comes in, and he's able to get 2. Shut down, though, and it looks like Buzzo, the last guy. Red Reserve, not quite aware of what's going on. Joe, though, he is pushed up very aggressively. He's going to have cabin cut. Yeah, and it was Buzzo surrounded by 3 players. So very nice hold by Red Reserve off of the back of Zero.
And keep your eyes on Joe here. This could be a counterplay. He's not going to take down Shox. Actually, decides to give that one up, and Shox does pick up a kill onto Rated. So he may kick himself for that one, but now teammate Zero does pick it up. The flag's going to be pulled, and look at the direction that it is going. We're going back to the cabin, and we're seeing Josh not only pick up 2, he's getting hyped here on the stage, and that flag looks like it's home and dry. There'll be no streaks in the hands of MindFreak, so we are going to see that sit now at 1-0.
And Denz had no idea. The flag almost never gets pulled cabin from this side of things. Denz actually spawns up. He could have just turned around and shot the flag carrier and potentially saved that flag cap from coming in, but he just reacts like everything is normal. He just sprints out trying to go for the OE, and obviously things did not go his way. He gets caught out. So potential there, just not the on-point recognition, but difficult situation at that. Red Reserve, though, right now, I don't want to say complete map control because they don't quite have Dome to their hands, but they are easily pushed up the farthest. MindFreak, they got to win these gunfights because Josh is already getting streaks. He has been so good these past 2 maps.
And he's using them all right. He's going aggressive. He's wanting to get another flag out. Is he going to put it down? Oh, okay. No, he's not. I take that back. He's he may have got the call out from his teammate. Maybe Rated went down. He said, save it. We don't need it. They weren't pushed up enough. I thought they were going to go all out, but Josh is going to trade things out with Buzzo. And Joe, once again, you said X Factor, and I think you couldn't be more correct in that statement. Joe really can be the difference maker in a lot of these kind of run and gun game modes, and we've seen what he can do already. Shox behind enemy lines, though.
The streaks are going to call him out, though. So this is an interesting situation because Red Reserve, they should be able to get a flag out because the streaks are going to be able to pick up 1, if not 2. Buzz is by himself. He gets 1 traded out, and now Shox is behind enemy lines, but Red Reserve knows. So they can get this flag, and they can just go. But they got to find the man sitting mid-map, this time waiting for the flag to get pulled one direction. He's got a player just underneath him, but maybe gets that first kill.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Do we talk about it, or do we just ignore it?
No. I mean,
we'll
I can see the...
Nothing happened.
What I want to talk about is the fact that Denz is now pulling the flag away. This could be a counter cap number 1 on your screen. It's Zero. Zero needs to go huge here just to delay this going in. This should have been 2-0. That glide bomb, I mean, I don't even know how you put that. Okay, 0. Okay, let's just, oh my, this could be special. This could be very special. He's gonna find 1. We'll find a 2nd and 0. Is he gonna go clutch? Yes, he is. Just like that. Fighter's gonna take him down. You said high impact, Chance. We are getting some really, I'm gonna use the word special CTF here.
I'm gonna say chaotic. Chaotic is an appropriate word. Josh should just kiss 0 after this map, or just send him some sort of love, because he saved them once on defense, twice on defense, trying to let it ride as well. MindFreak, though, putting the aggression on. This isn't gonna be an immediate 2-0 for Red Reserve. This could be a stalemate situation. So a lot of potential for MindFreak to have an incredible CTF first half compared to what could have been. And there you go. It's going to be a true stalemate. Now MindFreak putting in the aggression. Buzzo picks up 2. And the flag cap is going to come in off of the dive from Fida. And MindFreak, instead of being down 3-0, they're going to be tied 1-1.
I am mind blown right now. I am absolutely mind blown of how the CTF has gone so far. I'm sure the analysts will break it all down for you afterwards. But with 15 seconds here, it looks like both ourselves and the players are just taking a big, deep breath here, getting ready for that second side. No one's going to be going super aggressive, just trying to get another maybe kill towards that score streak, because Josh and Joe find a couple. However, we have a brief moment as they change sides here. Let's talk about it.
Top 5 fails. Easy. That's going to be number 1. Potential. I don't want to say for the whole year, because something worse might happen, but
it will.
That's the worst of the worst. That's a terrible streak.
So, first things first, you know, they get it out. Then they use the glide bomb.
The glide bomb call is fine, but like, just trust your teammate to win the gunfight. You're right there.
He called the glide bomb in. He killed himself.
As well as the person that was carrying the flag.
It was Josh lying right down there.
And you.
He knew he was putting it on his head.
Well, he was trying to put on the enemy. He didn't know he was killing himself, but he probably expected to kill the flag carrier. And if he lives right there, then he's able to touch the flag after that. So the idea is fine, but like, obviously, if the worst case scenario is you kill yourself and the flag carrier and lose the potential flag, like, you just don't do it. But that's something Josh will kick himself over, but it's not the worst idea in the world. It's just a fail. These things happen. But Red Reserve, second half, they got 5 minutes to make up for past mistakes.
Yeah, and the one thing I will say as well, now we see Red Reserve potentially on the more preferred side. They can really put the pressure on. Talking of pressure, Joe finds 2, 0 finds 1. That flag can be out of there. Joe doesn't lose any time in, getting out, and Rated. He'll be calling this one out as well. Oh, and he's standing behind this. He's not giving up. He isn't going to make the kill. We're going to see the stuns connect here. Big plays coming in from Josh in the middle. Will be taken down. This flag is not home, and we're seeing Shocks and Dens combined. Joe's in trouble.
Joe wins 1, gets streaks. MindFreak able to pull the flag out just for the moment. So Joe, when he comes off respawn, is going to be calling this in instantly. Fida, though, has a couple gunfights in front of him. He needs the winner, at least slow down. The flag gets stopped. Now Fida's by himself, and now if the streaks come in, he's done, but he's got a lot of players chasing behind him. Stuns are coming in as well. That's just too tough. The streaks are in even more so. So very good defensive stop once again for Red Reserve. Yes, they have to invest streaks, but Rated potentially going to be able to do damage on offense, but now Red Reserve on the attack.
Yeah, I'm so glad we asked the question of how this would play out. This is definitely one of the better watching Forest CTS, and we're going to see more streaks come. No, we're not. Okay. Yes, we are. Joe is now going to put this down, and you know what? This should be able to pick up 2, maybe 3. But no, Shox is going to be able to dive away. Dens, I don't know if Dens actually had. Yeah, Dens has the mountain on. So he puts mountain on, obviously, for this. Flag is going to be taken away, but I'm not even going to get excited, because honestly, these flags are getting stopped, return, caps, left, right, and center.
Well, the call-out actually got made by Rated. Kind of freaked out. If there's 2 that made it into cabin, so now that flag is going to be stagnant, and it's actually going to get returned. So MindFreak, once again, fantastic job. And, well, Joe's sneaking, but this means MindFreak might be able to get a flag pull of their own unless Josh just picks up 2 like it's
And look at Joe. He's picked up the flag, and he's out of there. He's running ruins. He's wanting to set a rendezvous at you. And he's going to find Josh just there, backing him up. And this should be a flag. You've got the 2 players supporting. You've got the line of sight. You've got the angles. Rated. Trying to connect. The flag will go in, and Red Reserve will take the lead with 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
And the 2 flag caps Red Reserve has comes from Joe going the opposite direction of where we see 95% of flags get soared from both sides. He pulls it not the wrong way. It was the right way for the situation, but to have that state of mind to make that kind of call, impressive stuff from Joe in 2 separate situations. So Red Reserve, again, mistakes in the first half. They've made up for him so far. 0 has streaks. Josh is picking up some nasty kills. Everything is going great. Joe, 16 and 7. My man.
Joe's putting on a show here for us, for sure. And don't get me wrong, credit to MindFreak. How they're only down by 1, again, blows my mind. This very easily could be a 4-0, 4-1 scoreline. They're keeping it close, however. Red Reserve, they're heating up, and we are going to see the last 90 seconds be very, very chaotic. I know there's still streaks in the hands of Red Reserve, so they can use this on a defense. They can use it as a safety net, an offense. Red Reserve should be able to win this one.
Well, MindFreak to get that flag out, they're going to have to win like 80% of the rest of these gunfights, and so far that's just not the case. Fighter by himself in map, he's got to stay alive, he's got to win gunfights, his teammates are falling around him, he gets pinched out. So Red Reserve, it's somewhat of an easy job for them to hold off on defense so far, especially with those streaks still in their hands of 0. But yeah, MindFreak, at this point, there's only so much you can do.
And again, when you're calling in these streaks, again, you're going to see maybe a couple of kills come in. Shox and Fighter go, or a few. 3 go down, and we're going to see a very comfortable flag pull. There's only 1 player up and alive. It's Dens. If we can jump on board with Dens to see whereabouts he is. He's in no man's land, and honestly, there was really no point. We're seeing glide bombs come in, raining down fire onto MindFreak. Josh, he's going to put in number 3, and with 30 seconds left here, chance. Red Reserve, they fell in the first hard point. They lost map number 1. They came back with a strong search and destroy showing. Just kind of final thoughts on this CTF. Do you think this should have been a much heavy scoreline for Red Reserve? Do you think they've almost kind of not done themselves justice in a 3-1 scoreline?
For the purpose of this individual game, yes. Obviously, Red Reserve, if they don't double kill themselves with streaks, like, then they might get that flag, then MindFreak wouldn't have gotten there. So Red Reserve comfortable the entire time. Josh just has continued to win gunfights. Joe, who I said was the X factor, has been fantastic. And on top of that, Zero has 23 freaking kills. They've all been on point outside of, again, just that one error. But I think just something to talk about. MindFreak, they beat this team on docks, and then they banned dock CTF to go into Forest, and I mean, look who looks better on Forest.
Yeah, difficult to see. I'd be interested actually to find out how many returns and how many pulls, returns, and everything in between were, of course, going down on that one. We, of course, have all the great stat guys backstage working on all that. We'll bring you all the relative information. However, we are going to be going into a map 4. It's going to be going back to Hardpoint. And talking of Hardpoint, you've got to talk about MindFreak. They ended their first section of Division A very strongly. They've come into the second set of games, Division A, which is started just today. And they look great on it. They look really well-structured, disciplined, and a very strong Hardpoint team. Does this mean we should be seeing a Game 5 here, or do you think we're going to get a much better performance from Red Reserve?
It's not in the slightest for me, like it was with TK, where I was definitively, oh, Game 5, 100%. TK's got this Game 4 in the bag. For me, it's going to be a close one. Like, Red Reserve has been good at St. Marie for quite some time. MindFreak was good at St. Marie for a week. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Red Reserve, you still probably give at least a small edge in Hardpoint. Yes, MindFreak has turned that game around, and absolutely, this can go to a Game 5. That might, be expected in the minds of many, many people, but Red Reserve absolutely can shut this series down here. They've beaten quite a few teams. I think actually twice they've beaten Optic 3-1 with that 4th map being St. Marie. So it's been their closer in the past. It could be their closer right here. And that would be very nice for them, because then Red Reserve can just be like, all right, we had a slow start. Other than that, we were on point. Easy win in Search and Destroy, easy win in CTF, and then potentially easy win in this final hard point. So be a nice little confidence booster for the team. I think this is going to be a real test for Red Reserve, because yeah, they come out and they put in a strong hard point here. They can put map 1 down as a bit of a it happens. It was our first game on LAN in 2 weeks. However, if they come out and struggle again in the hard point, that's when I think they've got to question themselves. They've got to really respect MindFreak in the hard point. And again, if it does happen, we'll see in a Game 5. And just to reiterate, for the map 4 being the swing map for Red Reserve, where they shut teams down on the same Marie, I think this is actually where MindFreak, when they're playing against Optic, on game number 4, I want to say it was the same map. Either that or it was map 1, because I know they played it on them, beat Optic Gaming on it to force the map 5, and that's where they played Optic Gaming and somehow won both the hard points, but lost both searches in the CTF. So maybe a reflective series potentially if MindFreak wins this, to where their Search and Destroy game just isn't quite there. But either way, just to even reverse a little bit and talk about that CTF, I like the preparedness, again, of Red Reserve. It was a situation where they had all these streaks, and then MindFreak's in a spot where it's like, well, we're going to put on Mountain to avoid them, but only one guy can do that. But
yeah.
if they are expecting to be rocking Mountain, those stuns nonstop that entire game were just pelting away at MindFreak, and there's nothing they can do because you can't put on armor because then you get caught by the streak. So again, Red Reserve, I think absolutely the details they do incredibly well, including on this map we've seen on St. Marie Hardpoint when the opposing team gets streaks, they put on Mountain. So the details are right, but they got to get the kills. Again, Joe, if we kind of talk about him as the X factor, him and Josh did not have the greatest first hardpoint. Absolutely, they're going to need to have a better one here on map number 4.
Okay, well, we can slow things down here. We've got that 5-minute time, which doesn't usually come into play, but a lot of points to play for here, and we're going to see how things do kick off. St. Marie, obviously a map we've seen success for both teams on, and we are going to be seeing a full hardpoint go down, rated and 0. Picking up some kills here. I am looking at that mini-map just to see the rotations. You'll see those blue arrows in a couple of minutes edge towards the winery, and this is one of them. It's going to be Fighter. Big kill on rotation. Not necessarily rotation, I should say there, but in a position which is going to affect the spawns, and you can see that already with Red Reserve now spawning out.
And MindFreak, they just fly. Like, at least 3 of these players, like outside of Buzzo, are hyper-aggressive. Like, even players, when they're by themselves in the hill, just pushing. Just holding down forward at the opposing team, and it might pay dividends because not only does MindFreak have the lead, but they were going forward enough to get the spawns for the next hill. So, yes, Red Reserve isn't down by too much, but very good rotation, and this is a setup. We saw MindFreak made the adjustment. They actually ripped the strat from a different team for this second hill, trying to get the hold. They have 2 players putting pressure over by Ammo, and successful. Shocks, again, saw it in the first hard point, picks up inside the hill. Buzzo's by himself in the hill. Actually, no, now he has teammate support. Joe and Josh, though, able to pick up the kills, and there you go. MindFreak spawns out.
Yeah, and you can see 2 of the players for Red Reserve spawning right at the back of the hard point. It's going to give them a very, very big advantage going into this one. Nice positioning. I like that from Josh there, utilizing his scenery around him. Vaulting up, picking up a kill. Rated finds 2, and Red Reserve with 25 seconds here not only take the lead, but they're going to put themselves in a very strong position here as Rated. 3-kill streak. Will be wanting to work towards this, I will say. St. Marie is so good when you've got streaks. You know, you can really throw some fighter pilots down or glide bombs on a lot of the hard points.
Yeah, unless you're Era, in which case it really doesn't matter if you had the score streaks. Either way, though, talk about how massive Joe just went just to pick up the 2 kills on the rotation battle. So Red Reserve gets the scrap time evolved. They don't quite get the spawns for new, but they're at least going to be in the hill first. So MindFreak, they got their work cut out for them. This could easily be Red Reserve going up by quite a bit because they're winning a lot of the gunfights on rotation as well. Rated posted up inside the hill is going to get double teamed as well. And there you go. MindFreak able to break, if not 18 seconds, kind of chucked away from Red Reserve.
That's really big. Again, from MindFreak, we've seen 2 big breaks already, and we're only on the 3rd hard point. That grenade could catch one. It will do. Just going to give the information to Fighter. And it's going to clean up that kill with looking 25 seconds. We're thinking maybe about that rotation now. But Buzzo, he's going to be called out again. And look at that. The free fire really smart there. Doesn't pick up the kill as Fighter's here to help him out. But MindFreak, they're going to take that lead back. We've seen already 3 lead changes, and we're only 3 hills in.
I really want to go back and watch the game as well, because even towards that second hill, it's like we saw Shocks picked up 2. Buzzo got 1 inside the hill, and then all of a sudden Red Reserve just broke somehow. Either way, though, the first 2 kills on the entry for this hill. I was going to say going the way of MindFreak. 0 bounces right back, picks up 2 of his own. Buzzo's on a 3 streak, so getting closer to those streaks, not quite there, and has a PPSH inside of red. Not entirely the best spot, and so MindFreak right now, they're just getting bullied outside of the hill. It's Joe that's pushed up aggressively for the team, because MindFreak, pressure's actually just going to be soaked up through mid. That's fight inside the hill. Tough gunfights for him to win, though. See, Red Reserve got players inside, and Buzzo was essentially useless in that situation.
Yeah, the problem there as well, Buzzo playing for those streaks, he kind of found himself singling him out and, you know, not being part of kind of that 4v4. And he working for the streaks, and I'm not against that at all, but it did make it difficult for MindFreak. Josh, he's going to help MindFreak out with a team kill onto Joe, but he's also going to deny them of any points as he takes down Fighter. 8 seconds left. We're going to see that rotation come in. Rated just preempting that top window look. And Fighter, for me, I know he only sits at 13 and 13, but he's been very influential already on this hard point.
0, though, trying to be that entry man. He picked up 2 on the last, still not going to be the case. So MindFreak, Last time around, they had the bad spawns, were able to fight through the hill, get the majority of time and spawns. This time, they're holding on to the spawn, so in theory, in at least a slightly better spot than they were at the start of the game. And Shock's inside the hill, doing everything he can to stay alive, but who's the entry man? It's going to be Zero. Yes, he falls, but the kills get traded out, rated with the STG inside of the hill. Able to pick up 2 as well. So again, MindFreak, to their credit, able to hold on to the spawns, but still a lot of time has been going Red Reserve's way.
Yeah, that's the problem, is this 10-point lead now is now developed into a 30-point lead. There's still 20 seconds left. Red Reserve are rotated, and they've got the winery. They've not just rotated one player, both Rated and Zero have locked down those spawns. Joe is in the hardpoint, and look at this, he's milking the time, getting off, letting it contest. I think his teammate was still on it, so he doesn't get the hardpoint bonus there. I like his thought, though. The thought process was there, and Red Reserve, they're starting to really step up the game.
MindFreak, though, a person has been able to sneak through Barn, but now the rest of the team has to get through Rated, and that's not an easy task at all. Fighter, though, able to win that first entry kill, and at the very least, it would be nice for MindFreak just to make sure Red Reserve doesn't continue to rack up the time. And the kills are getting split back and forth, but the pressure, in the end, a little bit overwhelming. Shox and Fighter were both able to pick up 2, and then Zero bounces right back. Very scrappy game so far here, Momo.
Yeah, every time I think a team's got it locked down, and we're going to see them hold, they don't. And I'm not going to discredit the team which is holding. It's just the credit to the team that's breaking. They're pushing at the right time. They're doing the right things. And with 25 seconds left, it's really interesting to see here. Red Reserve, they want this scrap time, and rightfully so. Because that, instead of going to 120 to 140 and a 20-point game, we're going to see a 60-plus point game here. And now on rotation, we're seeing players drop. Red Reserve, they are definitely not losing this rotation. It could happen, but they've got 2 players fighting for it.
And absolutely, MindFreak, they're going to need to at least get, what, like 40 seconds off this hill. Down by 65, a full 60 is great, but long-term, just 40 would be nice here. Any more than that is just even more of a win. Buzzo in the back, able to get one. Has him pre-aimed. Josh is going to be one shot. Potentially easy cleanup hill for Shox unless Josh waits to heal, which is going to be the case. You see MindFreak is actually spawning out, but yeah, there you go. Red Reserve, they're going to have to wait for another wave of kills to come in.
Shox did really well there. Picks up the kill, stays alive. Probably will die now, and he will. So Rated, trading things out. MindFreak, they're looking solid. Fighter being the catalyst to that. He's not just going to find 2. He's going to find all 3. And he's going to be picking up points at the same time. Still 25 seconds left here, and he's working towards those streaks. He picks up a fighter pilot here, going into the next rotation. That, my friend, could be very, very useful. So close, 9 bullets in the chamber. Gonna have to put to the machine pistol. Oh my goodness, he must be one shot.
Josh has no idea how huge it was for him to stay away. Again, though, I said MindFreak needed about 40 seconds. They're going to get a little bit more than that over at 50. Again, you got to keep the streaks in the back of your mind for Fida. He's going to be ever so close, but at the same time, Red Reserve, they did great on lookout post the first time around. They're trying to do the same thing once again, but instant reaction, gets the fighter pilot, calls it in to try and wipe Red Reserve out. There's no mountain for him this time. That's 1. There's 2. Josh stays alive, but not much he can do. So MindFreak, for the moment, able to retake control.
Even though they've got control here, they've used the glide bomb, and I actually really agree with this play. It's going to force them back. I don't agree with the positioning of that, but nevertheless, you know, mistakes were made. And look at this. They've got full control. There's 30 seconds left. They're only 20 points behind now. However, grenades are coming down. They really need the points, and Red Reserve just bully their way back into it. And I do want to point out as well, Red Reserve, they're being outslayed here. And by quite a little bit of a, well, by a little margin here, yet they're still in the lead.
Absolutely. And again, Joe, yes, he's the guy getting outslayed, but he's part of the reason Red Reserve is in the game. You just think about that original rotation from 2nd to 3rd hill. He's the player that was going big, so he is getting kills that absolutely matter. Oh. Somehow, though, Josh, apparently, I don't know how he's only got 23 kills, because he still has not been missing for the past 3 maps with that PPSH. Either way, though, Red Reserve inside a restaurant once again. Zero's piecing as well, another 2-piece to his name. MindFreak, though, at least trying to contest. Dens is going to fall. Zero, you see, has the easy reads on the spawns. Easy kills for him coming in.
I'm worried for MindFreak right now, because Josh and Zero are making these PPSHs look like snipers sometimes. They are shredding. Zero's on a 5 streak. He's going to be looking for rotation. Number 4 is Buzzo. He could be caught with his pants down here. Oh, he's gonna be shot in the back, yeah. And Zero's gonna get the kill. With 25 seconds, he's obviously looking towards getting that capture, which would enable him to get the minimum of 2 streaks. There's 1, there's 2. Not going to find the 3rd, but I don't think that even matters right now. They're getting all the points here from the restaurant. They're going to be heading over to the winery with score streaks to break.
So situation up 227 to 174 using the streaks early. So 53-point lead. and then they just have to win one of the next 2 hills, and they're investing streaks for this one, which might cost them actually a little bit because MindFreak still has the full setup. Now, Denz is very far away from the hill. Red Reserve is pouring all the pressure straight through the front, and there's 3 kills for him. Yes, Denz, he's over there to try and get the split, but Red Reserve able to break through with no issue.
Finds themselves in a strong position. Rated is on a 4-kill streak, 24 and 19. Ironically, still, you know, they're not heavily outslaying MindFreak here. I think it's pretty much even, if not a little bit behind. But now we're going to see the artillery coming down. You're also going to see Rated rotated. He's not just putting all his eggs in one basket in this winery. He's finding himself way ahead of the game, and there we have it. 3 kills coming in for Rated and Red Reserve. You're going to see a last-ditch effort from MindFreak to try and get something out of this one and put the brakes on. But nevertheless, chance this is surely going to be over here.
It's Zugzwang. There's nothing MindFreak can do to win, even if they break through on this hill, which they didn't. There's no way they're able to get the rotation for next. The streaks came out way too strong. Red Reserve played it well. I think really early on, it was the rotation from the 2nd hill to the 3rd hill where Joe picked up 2 pretty huge kills that trucked away a decent bit of time. But then even the pressure just to pour into that 2nd hill, you saw players getting caught out of position over by ammo when the pressure's overpowered. Just push in the front. You don't have to worry about the spawns as much. Red